Hi, Cuckoo Critics. Fa la 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 la. You know what? I don't even know if fa la 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 is the right handle for the movie I'm going to discuss today. And by the way, Charlene, hello, your host and producer and creator of Hot Cuckoo Critics. Look, I have to say this. And look, don't be mad at me, first of all. I have tried to beat my face into submission because the amount of sleep I did not get after watching this film yesterday with my husband. And look, opportunity missed because I keep trying to get him to come on Hot Cocoa Critics and he just won't do it. I don't know if it's a won't. Like, y'all don't scare me. You know, in the words of Bernie Mac, I ain't scare you, motherfucker. But him, he might be a little scared. So, I'm just going to do something a little different today. I'm going to tell you about the film. I'm going to give you the rundown. Might spoil it. I'm going to lead up top with the spoilage because here's the thing. I feel like, you know, people like myself, we don't want it spoiled, but we do want to know what we're getting into. We want to know, like, what's the journey going to be like. And that's what I'm here for. Matter of fact, some of the shorter reviews, which this will be, I hope. I'm gonna aim high. I'm gonna aim high. Um, yeah, it's just gonna let you know, hey girl, if you think this is because depending on who you heard about this film from, like if you went the word of mouth route, you may not realize what it is, right? You may just say, "Oh yes, girl, I'm thirsty. I wanna, be in the mix with the girlies with the tea in the chat. Literally, normally, y'all know me. When I do a hot cocoa critic, I have a cocktail. Not today. It is water in here. Okay. I am hydrating. I am drinking my water and minding my business because, baby, I think I slept a total of 2 hours last night. No lie. Because of this movie. Because of this movie, a film, a journey through time and space. Twin action, which, by the way, I think I've been cured of a phobia from this movie that I've had that I haven't spoken on a lot, but I think this film actually cured me of this phobia. Look, or should we just sit her right here and let her be in the frame? Yeah. Hey, girl, we get it. Your animal print, your gold. This is a Madison Square, by the way. She's not a Stanley. She's Stanley's, yeah, bougie Southern cousin. Meaning, I got her in Charleston. Forgot a cup. Everybody had a cup. I was like, I want to walk around with a thermos hooked to my hand and be burp, 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 burp. What's that ragtime music they have down there? Digress. Not really, because Charleston's haunted, right? So yeah, it's a spooky movie. How can you tell I'm wearing black? I'm wearing black. I'm very serious. Also, this movie packs a lot of black star power. Also a vibe. Um, but yeah, so we'll just get into it, right? The movie Sinners. Sinners, y'all. Sinners. Now, let me just say this. It takes a lot for my lazy butt to go to the movie theater. But the way the girlies were raving about Michael B. Jordan in this film. So, look, I'm going to say something kind of controversial. Just bear with me. I've never really understood the hype of Michael B. Jordan. I don't know. First of all, I'm very confused about a few factors. One, how tall is he? Because I'm tall. Um, I need to understand that this man is over 6 feet. And I've never like taken 2 minutes to Google it. The mustache. Do we need it? I don't think we do. We should maybe run a poll. Does he need that mustache or what? Also, I've been more concerned for his like mental health after the breakup with um Lori Harvey. Because I felt like that man was ready to give her the world and she was like, It's good for the summer, and then I'm out. So I don't know. I've always like looked at him as kind of like a wounded second cousin. Is that a thing? Um, because I could think he's cute, right? If you have a second cousin, you can still think, is that like, whoa, I live in Texas, not Alabama. So whatever. Okay. Is that more of an Arkansas or West Virginia? Who cares? Let's stay on topic. I don't know the laws. I can barely keep up with the laws in my own state. You know what? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. And look, this could be why we the people are like, you know what? Epic, give us fantasy, give us vampires, give us, give us all of the mythological stuff because right now what we need is a good vampire horror. Yeah, I said it. How I didn't know this was look. First of all, let me not. I've got my IMDb pulled up. I've got a whole cheat sheet. I'm not here to play with y'all. I saw this movie yesterday. I took some notes. So let me backtrack and do this the right way. Um, and I have put a pin in the phobia that this movie has cured me of, and I won't forget to tell you. The reason why I have water. When I drink, I forget. Where was I going? Let's get to business. Okay, so Sinners 2025. It's out. It's in the theaters right now. Actually, apparently they extended the release of this movie in the theaters because of the buzz it was picking up, and it should. It's written and produced by and directed by the brilliant Ryan Coogler. And you don't know who Ryan Coogler is, and I could like I don't know make an analogical comparison. It would be like Ryan Coogler is to film the way Kendrick Lamar is to hip hop. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because he also directed Fruitvale Station. I always say Fruitville. It's not. It's Vale. That starred Michael B. Jordan, which was kind of his breakout role. I mean, Michael B. Jordan had been on soap operas for a bit. He's a child actor, lots of drama, lots of dramatic acting in kind of the background, right? We kind of knew about him, we really didn't. And then all of a sudden, Fruitvale Station came out and had so much buzz that it put them both on the map, in my opinion. And then Ryan Coogler also, he's an award winning filmmaker, if you don't know that. Like he's won multiple NAACP awards, Image Awards. He's been nominated for Oscars. He won a Grammy for the song in Wakanda Forever. He's a part of, and actually, let me make sure I get this right. Directed the Black Panther film series, Creed, 1, 2, and Trey. Now, if you are a Sesame Street kid like I was, which one of these is the most consistent? I guess that doesn't really work because it's like which one of these is not like the other. Anyway, who was in all of these films? Fruitvale Station, Black Panther series, Creed 1, 2, and 3. Anybody? Michael B. Jordan, that's right. Like if we had like a multiple choice, it would be Michael B. Jordan. Please forgive me messing with my earpiece. It's like sliding out. Hope it doesn't mess with my audio. We'll find out. But I will say I love this. I love to see this because honestly, what we've seen a lot of is your Leonardo DiCaprio's and what's his name? Francis Ford Coppola, right? Is that his name? Yeah. That's who his plug is. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. They've been rocking together since the 1900s for you children out there. I love the connection of a filmmaker and a star actor and them saying, look, if I have a movie, you're in it and you're the star. I just love that. Um, so the movie Centers is actually it is a period piece and it's based in the early 1900s. Yo, let me tell you something. The way this movie started off, first of all, this is the most unprepared I've ever been for a Hot Cocoa Critics review because the way the movie started off, I was over here the rest of the film. So my husband was like, Richard, what are you gonna talk about? I thought I said I'm gonna talk about the parts of the movie I did see. And that is real because I am that girl during a horror movie that's like, huh? Huh? What? Oh, I can feel it. Oh no, is that? Oh God, I'm that girl. So that's why I'm like, F it. It's getting spoiled. Like, if there are people out there that don't do well with being surprised that something is scary, and this is my PSA to you. Now, DDT, who's made multiple appearances on the show, she saw it before me, and Kiki as well, another co-host from the show in previous seasons, and they both were like, "Ooh, girl, Michael B. Jordan, you got to see it. It's so many layers. It's so like deep, and it's amazing, and it's. I've got to see it again. It's so good." So I went off of that. I missed the memo that this was a horror film and a vampire film, and I think somewhere in there somebody said there were two Michael B. Jordans, but I wasn't really sure. Girl, he plays twins. So I'm gonna take the pen out so I don't forget. Michael B. Jordan plays a set of twins. So for those of you who are like obsessed with Michael B. Jordan and like have to have all the Michael the B and the Jordan in your life, there's two of them. Look, I've even got a black pen. This movie was so dark. Two of them. Okay, which has cured me of my phobia about male twins. I don't know. Okay, hear me out. I want to say like 8 to 10 years ago, I woke up one day and boys that looked alike started to freak me out. I don't know if I saw a movie. I don't know if I had a weird dream, but boy twins kind of scared me for a little bit. I can't even tell you if there was like an age limit or like a grown male twins for sure. Totally spooked. Don't know. Mm-mm. And this movie somehow cured me of it. I don't know why that is. Because it was fine. That's why. And it was well dressed. And I like that they split them up early. Maybe the splitting them up early was like a really good decision because very early in the movie, they go down south. They're coming from Chicago. They're called Smoke and Stack are the twins' names, and they're from where in the heck was this even? I was so scared the whole time. I don't even know. They were in the South, okay, just the South, and this is supposed to be short. So I'm still gonna work on keeping it short. But they are well-known twins. Like in any small country town, you got some twins. Everybody's gonna know who the twins are. You know them twins. You can barely know their name. Just the twins. Anyway, so they come from Chicago. They moved to Chicago for a little bit. They've been through the military together. These twins have done everything together. They've gone to Chicago to become businessmen together. Um, and they boosted something to the tune of like 500 bottles or cases of, I think it's bottles of Irish beer, and they have a whole bunch of money from some casino dealings that they did, some casino business. These guys are just kind of smarmy. Like one's more like strategic. I think that would be Smoke is more strategic thinking and very business minded, and Stack is like all the swag. He's the flair. He's a man of the people, but he always gets them in some trouble. So you get very much like a Smoke is the brains behind the operation, and Stack is like the Riz, as the kids no longer say apparently. Anyway, so they made their appearance down south. Their little cousin, Sammy, also known as Preacher Boy, is your typical preacher kid. Okay, he plays his guitar, he's got a voice. Y'all, I haven't heard a voice like this. And by the way, Sammy is played by oh my gosh, Milton. Wait, I told you I wasn't prepared. Oh, Miles Catton. Miles Catton, Caton. Scratch the Milton. That's not a person. Not in this. Not as it pertains to. Anyway, Miles Catton. He's had to have been on Broadway or something. I haven't dug that deep. I will be keeping an eye out for him because if this ain't a breakout role, I don't know what is. Tell me what it is. So he plays this preacher kid who has an amazing voice, who's completely like torn. His dad is a preacher, wants him to sing the Lord's music, and he's like, but I love to play the blues. I love the blues. And so as the story rolls along, basically his two cousins come in town, and it's that thing. If you ever had some grown cousins, riding around with them is just like a dream, right? You're just like, I'm with cool kids. I'm hanging with big boys. Like that's totally what this was. They come and get him because they're opening up a juke joint. Let me get to it. They're opening up a juke joint. This is opening night for the juke joint is the stage of this. And there's just so much to unpack with this. So I'm not gonna completely spoil it, but I will say they're twins. So that's one spoiler. This movie starts from the end, which is why I was distracted beyond belief because it's the most shocking. It's a pretty shocking way to start a film. I'll say that. Yeah, because you keep waiting on the events to kind of line up and take place that turn you know, that create injuries. I said it. And this dramatic, um, dramatic entrance of one of the main characters at the church. I'll just say that. Okay, so you got that. Then what ends up happening is Stack goes into town. No, Stack goes and collects what turns out to be the bouncer with little cousin, little Sammy, preacher boy in the car. And this is all set on and with the backdrop of like sharecropping, cotton picking, sharecropping South. So you'll get all these beautiful images of just cotton fields, and you get a look at what sharecroppers looked like back then, and just kind of there's bits of still some like I don't know how to put this, but kind of you do end up getting a clan racism. That story kind of brews. It's a slow, quiet brewing in the background because you don't have the old South. You don't have, you know, what is that? I'm telling you, I got no sleep. This movie had me so freaked out. You don't get antebellum South without then the Klan in the backdrop and racism and black people still fighting for equality and just at this point their lives and a living. So that's brewing in the background. And we as black people, we can feel it in these period pieces. We're like, okay, but when does the shit pop off? Right. So anyway, they buy this mill, this old mill. They call it the sawmill from this white man who's apparently like the deputy. Anyway, turns out he's more than that later on. But they buy this mill from him. They pay him off. They're like, hey, we don't want to see the Klan around here, but we are opening a juke joint here. And that's what's happening. And the whole story is set around the grand opening of the juke joint. And so when Smoke goes to town, so Stack is getting another musician, which ends up being Delroy Lindo. Look, Delta Slim is his name in this movie. Delroy Lindo, like the amount of this man has over 140 movies to his credit. Delroy Lindo is like a black national treasure. He just is. And he was in Malcolm X. That's one of the roles people most know him from, even though that movie is a classic. It's a Spike Lee joint. But also he was in Unprisoned with Kerry Washington. Water or coffee? Water or coffee? Yeah, with Kerry Washington very recently, 2023, 2024. But Delta Slim is this harmonica player. Who knows them? So the I would say the characters and the kind of the players in this story all come together at the train station and in town. So train station for Stacks and in town for Smoke. So Smoke, the responsible twin brother, strategic minded one, is in town to get all of the stuff to get this juke joint going because they already have a truck full of stuff. But you start to see these guys have a reputation in town and they're well respected. And people also know they're unfuckwittable. Like, don't mess with them. Okay. But their town kind of loves them. So this is where we see, some of the themes of, well, there's a general store and there's like a textile store owned by this Chinese family. And that's one of the messages in our community about how we are the things that we tend to need, African American community tends to need, is owned by the Asian community. Hair. makeup, clothes, bags. And look, the Asian community, the Asian countries are huge for textiles in general. So Vietnam, if you look at the tags on a lot of your clothes are made in Vietnam, Thailand, or China. It's just the facts. Designer clothes are typically made in Vietnam, in case y'all didn't know that, in Thailand. So that's on a global scale, like on a everybody's scale. But for the Black community specifically, we have a very linear relationship with the Asian community and like wares that are specifically our interests. And I like how Ryan Coogler kind of outlines that. That's a very obvious thing. Like you can't miss that. But it turns out that Bo, who's played by Yao, Bo Chow, so it's a Chow family. Bo, who's played by Yao, and Yao is the actor's name. He ain't bad looking either, I'm just saying. He owns like the pharmacy and general store, and that's who Smoke finally comes up to. He's like, hey man, I'm in town. They dap it up, and you realize, oh, they're cool. So they help get everything going. Actually, they come to the juke joint. They're making the food. They're serving the drinks. Also, Smoke makes a stop at his old lady house. We didn't know he had an old lady, most gorgeous woman. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Her name in the movie is Annie. She is like a seer. She's a medicine woman. She is a priestess, whatever, however you want to describe her. She's got all the potions. She does the roots. She knows what a haint is. She is like key. So he actually gets her to come along because he needs her to cook her good old catfish. And they have a nice little steamy sex scene. Just saying, there's a little bit of spice in there. But you realize that, oh no, they have a deeper relationship. They've suffered a loss together. And she's just been holding it down since he's been on the road. So that's his gal. Smoke, strategic, responsible twin. His gal is Annie. Now, Annie is played by Nigerian actress Wunmi Masaku. Mosaku. I may have that right. I may have that wrong. But she was also in Deadpool and Wolverine. So, you know what? Pour water on me and call me dry if for some reason I'm late to the party on this actress. I'll be watching her as well. Really loved her presence in the film, and she plays a huge part when it all pops off at the juke joint. Because we will need her for the garlic and the wooden stakes, right? So then moving right along, Omar Benson Miller, who's Cornbread. Now we know him from all sorts of dance movies, and he's just been around for a long time. He's very, 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 very tall and big and wide. There's a reason I'm making that. You'll see in the movie. There's a reason I'm harping on how large, LRG, like the clothing brand, this man is. I mean, he's just somebody you don't ever want to piss off. And OMG. So he's security at the door. And yeah, so it's kind of on and popping from there. Michael B. Jordan gets all the folks to go, get the signage and everything going. The Chow family, they leave their daughter behind. That's a huge point. Also at the train station, Stack gets the harmonica player, which is Delta Slim, and then he gets charged up by this white lady at the train station, played by Haley Steinfeld. Now, Haley Steinfeld, she's one of these people where she's just got multiple talents. She is a white actress. She was in Pitch Perfect 3. That's where I first became familiar with her. She can sing, she can dance. She's also like a pop star. She has like her own music catalog. She put out a couple music videos. Like she's that girl. She's also been in the Spider Verse, Marvel girl. But her breakout role was True Grit. She's one of those faces you're gonna be like, why have I seen her before? If you're not, if you haven't seen a lot of her work, she got a lot of buzz in 2010 for True Grit, like her breakout role, and she was nominated for an Oscar, and that movie won a bunch of Oscars. That was a Western. And yeah, in the 83rd Academy Awards, that movie was nominated for 10 Oscars. So, I mean, this movie packs a lot of star power. I can't speak about it enough. You have the main vampire Remick. So let's get to that. So you have them in the background getting ready for the like trying to get their juke joint going. You've got um, this white couple who you're like, what does this have to do with anything? This man shows up at this white couple's house. He's white. He begs for their help. They help him. Native Americans, I think it was Choctaw Nation, um, come by and they're like, hey, we're looking for this guy. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. And the whole while they have a Ku Klux Klan like outfit, costume, outfit, uniform in the house. And so you know what you know they're with the shits, right? So um the Native Americans are like, okay. We hope you didn't let him in, and if you did, may God be with you, basically. And they write off because they're like, we gotta get going. So there is your big warning that things are about to take a turn. Well, the person that showed up on their doorstep in need of help is Remick, played by did I get his name? Jack O'Connell. Jack O'Connell does an amazing job of pulling together all of the things. Like he's Irish. At one point, they talk about how the Irish came here and were oppressed and dealt with you know being pressured into this level of Christianity in America and all this stuff. This movie has so many themes. The actual juke joint night itself, once it gets going, is phenomenal. You have to. This is why people are saying they want to go back and see it again and again and again. There are so many layers from culture vultures to passing a little bit or having a drop of African American blood in you and then thinking that you can straddle the fence on both sides, even though Haley Steinfeld's character specifically looks white, but she's very much engrossed in the black community and thinks that she can go talk to the three people who all become vampires. I mean, what are you kidding? And thinks she can reason with them. And it's that pivotal moment in the film where everything goes very, very left. And I think I'll leave it there. Yeah. And Haley Stanfield was Stack's love interest, by the way. So she charges him up, and we have all the anxiety because we're like, "Oh no, you're talking to a white woman in early 1900s. I think it was the 20s, 30s. Yeah. Um, South, like you could get totally lynched for that, and this girl's going off on you because you left her high and dry, and apparently, like they had a close relationship with her and her family, and those two specifically were kind of running around together. But this woman has a whole life that she has on her own, and what are you chasing after Stack for? Because Stack is fine. That's why. Okay, okay. So in closing, the movie I give it five peppermint hot chocolates. I mean, what would we call like a vampire drink? Like, ooh, I got it. Okay, five Bloody Marys. Ooh, yeah, I like it. But it's still going to be held to the standards of our peppermint hot chocolate scale, which scoring scale, which includes no unnecessary thuggerization of characters. I didn't see any of that. Layered plot, I saw that, loved it. Scene stealers like Miles Catton, Catone. I bet it's Caton. Yeah, Caton. Miles, Little Sammy. Steinfeld killed it. Literally and figuratively. Michael B. Jordan, like, oh my God. This is gonna be one of those movies like, oh, Ryan Coogler also did Judas and the Black Messiah. Y'all remember how that movie came out and people were kind of talking about it and then talking about it and talking about it and then talking about it and then all this Oscar buzz? This is gonna be that. This is gonna be that. Like this is one of those movies where you may not have run out and seen it in the theater, but then at home you're streaming it like crazy. So Sinners is worth going to the theater. I think they even have like an IMAX version of it. This movie is a lot. Like as scared as I am, and look, I was terrified. I think I slept with my cross last night. But according to that movie, it might not even matter. Yeah, I almost dislocated my shoulder jumping and jerking in the theater. Like, oh, you can't hear that pop. I definitely may have partially torn my rotator cuff because I hopped. I bumped into the dude next to me. I was so scared. But that's just me. I'm scary no matter what. I'm scared. My husband scares me. I mean, I want to put bells around his ankles because I never know when he's coming around a corner. So don't. I mean, it is scary, but is it that scary? No. It has so many themes, so many layers. I mean, one question that I do want y'all to like comment in the chat about or comment on this episode about is there's a part in the movie where uh Sammy, little Sammy, preacher boy, does start reciting the Lord's Prayer when he's in the clutches of Remick. Okay. And Remick has an interesting response to him reciting the Lord's Prayer. I would love to know what you think Ryan Coogler was trying to impress upon us with that particular scene. Because myself, Richard, and DDT all had different impressions of why that was put in the film and why that was a moment. One of them, I think DDT said, if I can quote her accurately, she thought that you can pray all you want, but you have to, help yourself. Right? That was her impression. That maybe it's that sometimes we pray and pray and pray, but we don't put any action behind it. And it's kind of like the saying, God helps those who help themselves. All right. Um, Richard, his impression of that moment was that you can find yourself in a lurch, and sometimes it's just the situation you're in, and your faith will get you through it, but it's not going to be like a snap magical fix. Like you sometimes you just have to see your way through a situation. My impression was the use of religion to woo people to the wrong side of the tracks. Or like also a biblical reference is the enemy knows the Bible, if not as well as you, better. So that could have been a disarming tactic because the aim of these vampires were to get as many followers as possible. There's been a lot of buzz on the internet allegedly about this being a major, I don't know, metaphor for the music industry and black talent. I see it. I also see it as just like how our culture is so rich and has so many layers, and people want our rhythm and not our blues. I, I mean, if I could sum it up so flatly because this movie is full. This movie is very gory, but I still give it 5 Bloody Marys. And I will probably go see it again. And the only other spoiler I will provide for you is stay through the credits. We did that. And when the lights went up in the theater, we left. Apparently, we were supposed to stay past that. Stay until the very, 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 very end. I mean, the end, to where they're sweeping around your feet at the theater. That's when you get up. Do you see that screen go black? That's when you get up. Because now we have missed the whole little last part. We saw the last part. We need to see the last part to the last part. Also, if this is just a way to get more of our money, I get it, Ryan. I feel you. Look, you had 2 Michael B. Jordans. We need to see it twice. Ah, Coco Critics. This is a vampire horror. Beware. Say your prayers. Holy water. Holy water. That's what's in this cup. Nothing but holy water.